Today I'm at the Dean Cemetery, which is in the south side of Edinburgh, and paying respects to Major General Sir Hector Archibald MacDonald. Why am I here? The story of Major General Hector MacDonald is quite an amazing story, because Hector MacDonald was a crofter's son, working class, born in the Black Isle in Scotland, and at the age of about 17 he joined the Gordon Highlanders, and he steadily rose through the ranks from a private all the way up to finish up as a Major General, which is a feat that hasn't been done ever since. I don't think. I think he's the only one who's ever done it, as far as I know. His soldiers called him Fighting Mac because he was such a good tactician, very brave soldier, and his men loved him because in them days, still now, you still get snobbery within the ranks and the officers, but because he was from the ranks, he never got that. He looked after his men, and his men loved him, do anything for him, follow him over the hill anywhere that we go. But obviously, of the snobbery being snobbery, a lot of the officer class didn't like him, or the snobs, and they tried to plot his downfall, and at some point they got him by accusing him of being a homosexual. The fact he was married and had a child was by the by, although he never said he was married, because you had to have permission to get married and stuff. I believe he got married on the sly and never told the army, so his wife never got a pension, sort of thing. But they accused Fighting Mac, our Hector, of being homosexual. Hector was in Paris at the time, and the story goes that he was in a hotel, in a small room in a hotel. He got himself washed and dressed, got himself down for his breakfast, read the paper, went for a walk, came back, went up to his room, by all accounts, took out a pistol and shot himself in the head. The story doesn't end there. The military were trying to discredit him, and when he came back from France in a coffin, they never had a proper hearse. It was like a sort of milk float sort of thing. We had advertising boards on it. Just no respect for the man at all. But by the time he got to Edinburgh, obviously the local people had heard the fall of Hector, and they were having none of it. They knew it was a lot of bollocks about him being a homosexual, and he wasn't going to get a military funeral as such, and the people were in uproar about it. So he was actually given a proper funeral in the end, and this fitting tribute to him is what he got, and he's placed here in the Dean Cemetery in Edinburgh. 1 month, the first Sunday, 4 weeks after he was put in the ground, over 30,000 people queued up to pay respects to Hector. And it got to the point where the cemetery staff had to stop the people outside bringing in the flowers, because there were so many flowers that there's no more room for them, so they banned them from bringing any more flowers in on that day. But for years after it, people came from all over to pay their respects to Fighting Mac, the People's Major General. There's also a pipe tune named after him. It's called Hector the Hero. You can get it on YouTube. Cracking tune, lament for him. And this is the story of Major General Hector Archibald MacDonald, Dean Cemetery in Edinburgh.